we're going to talk about Shedeur Sanders and him free falling in the NFL draft. This isn't a conversation that I could just have with anybody. I think this is a conversation that I would want to have in a safe space. Think about it, for everybody who goes to the barbershop, those conversations you really get to have in a barbershop, or like you got an OG, like I'm a cigar smoker. So when I really need a good conversation, I go over Foot's house, man. We have a cigar and just chop it up, talk about life. I think this is a conversation that for some people, they'll be rubbed the wrong way. And quite frankly, I don't care. I really don't give a damn. But other people who kind of understand where I'm coming from, even if they've never stepped foot in my shoes or walked a mile in my shoes, they'll kind of get where I'm hitting at. I'm going to go a couple places here. I may jump here. I may jump there. Just bear with me. So Denzel Washington once explained, I think he was doing promo for the movie Fences, and he explained culture over color. He stated that Steven Spielberg did Schindler's List and that he had to do Schindler's List. Martin Scorsese did Goodfellas, and there's just certain little cultural things when you think about body language and things like that when you're watching a movie. It's just certain cultural things. And he also went on to explain that, understanding the smell of a hot comb, how that's cultural difference, not race. And I think we got to define what culture is, and then we're going to continue. Culture is defined as the arts and other manifestations of human intellectual achievement regarded collectively. I'm going to kind of tell you a story kind of about how my upbringing, what I grew up at, some of the obstacles I faced growing up. But it's beautiful. It shaped me and made me the person I am today. And people who grew up very similar to me will get it as well. So I can tell you 100% what it's like growing up in the hood. I am from Leverett Street. That's why the Leverett in my name is Leverett. Oxon Hill, Glass Manor, Maryland. This is right on the DC line, right on the Southeast DC line. I can tell you 100% what it's like growing up in the hood. I can tell you what it's like being harassed by police at 7 years old for simply sitting in my uncle's foot. It was his first car and listening to music. We were outside. It was like 11 p.m. It was late, but my grandparents knew we were just sitting in his new car listening to music. That's all we can do. And I promise you, that's all we were doing. I can tell you what that feels like. I can tell you what it's like being in a house temporarily without hot water, or the lights being off for a few days. I can 100% tell you what that feels like. I can tell you how to turn ramen noodle gourmet. For sure, I can tell you how to do it. Before I was vegan, if you want to put some eggs in it, cut up some hot dogs in it, put a little bit of cheese in it, you could definitely make ramen noodle gourmet. I can tell you how go-go music make us feel growing up in the DMV. It's this outer body thing. I know a lot of y'all don't know what go-go music is. If you're trying to find out what it is, go to YouTube, search DC go-go music. A lot of people say it sounds like pots and pans, but there's a certain feeling I get when I'm driving or I'm somewhere and EU comes on, or Chuck Brown comes on, or my personal favorite backyard band comes on, and you hear a song like T-Shirt, or you hear a song like Gangsta, like you just hear these songs and it just gives you this certain feeling, and it just takes over your spirit, and it's like a representation of, this is where I'm from. I can tell you what that feels like. I can also tell you feels like what it's like to have a few dollars when the ice cream truck pull up. Shout out to Muhammad. Muhammad was our ice cream truck driver, back on Leverett back in the day. And this wasn't no ordinary ice cream truck. He sold Jacks. If y'all know what Jacks is, it's cigarettes, single loose leaves. He also sold blunts, nachos. It wasn't just ice cream. Like some people, they got regular ice cream trucks. We had the ice cream truck that sold everything you need, and just having them couple dollars in your pocket, it was such an ill feeling. It was 100% an ill feeling. I could tell you what it's like seeing someone, talking to them, and then being murdered a couple hours later, and dealing with those emotions at 9 years old. Rest in peace, Dorvey. I can tell you what that's like. If you haven't had a lot of those shared experiences, you probably don't understand where I'm coming from right now. But if you have had some of these shared experiences, you could probably completely 100% understand where I'm coming from right now. I can tell you how much easier it was to deal with this because I had both parents in my life. I am not the man I am today without my father. My father told me to be confident, to be fearless, to stand on my own too. He made me and my brother go fight people when it was time to, and he also made us speak up for ourselves. I respect elite fathers, the Archie Mannings of the world, the Jack Elways of the world, Most of y'all hate LeVar Ball, but I have nothing but respect and admiration for LeVar Ball. The problem with y'all and LeVar Ball is he told you what his sons was going to do, and granted, Jello didn't technically make it to the NBA. He did play in the G League, but he's having success with this rap thing. Lonzo didn't become the player we thought he was going to become. I think some of that was injuries. You know, you see Jeff Teague and other people talking about how they wanted to go at him, and LaMelo Ball, I mean, if he gets on the right team, he could be one of the best players in the league. A lot of y'all don't like LeVar Ball, but just because he was opinionated and he said what he had to say, and he said it proudly. I respect him. I have nothing but respect and admiration for LeVar Ball. I respect elite fathers. Imagine what it's like being Shedeur Sanders. Let's take a step. I'll introduce you guys to who I am, why I respect elite fathers. I'm not the man I am today without both of my parents, but I needed my father in my life to face a lot of the things that I had to face growing up where I grew up at. But imagine your dad being Deion Sanders for a second. He's the greatest corner to ever play the game. Your whole life, you were perceived as Deion's kid. Oh, he's only successful because he's Deion kid. Oh, he wouldn't have got those same opportunities because he's Deion kid. And we saw it with Bronny James last summer. Oh, he shouldn't have been in the NBA. There was a lot of other players more worthy in the NBA. So it's funny how we mention nepotism as it pertains to athletes, but we don't mention nepotism at all when we talk about coaching, how a lot of these coaches got opportunities because of nepotism. Or we don't want to talk about that, but we'll talk about nepotism as it pertains to athletes going to the next level. Y'all know how stupid that is? Y'all know how angry that makes me? We want to talk about nepotism. Then we pick and choose when we want to talk about nepotism. That's crazy to me. 100% crazy. 100% crazy. He had success at Jackson State. Oh, he's only good because of the competition he played. And now we're moving goalposts. At first, he's only successful a little bit because of his dad. Oh, he played at Jackson State. Oh, he's only good because of the competition he played. He was a 70% thrower, all-time leading completion percentage thrower in college football. Oh, he was only 13-12 at Colorado. Look at the competition they played in the Big 12. Unlike they played SEC competition. Oh, we moving goalposts again. We 100% moving goalposts again. The goalposts are constantly being moved to fit whatever narrative y'all want it to fit. Whatever makes sense at the moment. My problem with most of you, and I said this in the opening, y'all don't watch college football. You're watching highlights, lowlights, something you see on TikTok, a narrative that you like and you agree with and you repeat it. You don't watch college football. Stop making generalizations. If you watch college football and you have a sound opinion and that's your opinion, I will respect anybody's opinion who actually watch college football. I've seen over 40 Sheduer games over the last 4 years. And I've seen a myriad of the games of a lot of quarterbacks who were drafted. I actually watch college football. That is the difference. So many people have seen Jackson Dart. Like I said, I was a fan of Jackson Dart. I had full belief in Jackson Dart and Ole Miss last year. Like I said, every year, third week of fall camp, I pick who I think is going to, win the championship, and I also fill out a college football playoff bracket. I had Ole Miss. I think Jackson Dart absolutely lit it up his last 2 seasons in Oxford. But did you watch the Florida game? And I'm not talking about the Florida game because he played horribly. Did you watch the Florida game, and did you watch what happened on the sidelines? Did you see it? Did you guys see it? I know my boy Boomer saw it because he watches college football, and I remember us talking about it the next day in our group chat his team still had an opportunity to win. He wasn't injured, but what the hell he was doing crying on the sidelines? What was going on? It was like he had given up. What was going on with that? But a lot of people don't see that because a lot of people don't watch college football. To this day, I can't figure out what was going on. His team still had the opportunity to win. Ultimately, they lost. But like I said, because I watch college football, because the people in CFB Nation watch college football, we have these discussions. You're like, yo, did y'all catch that? Did y'all see that? I get to see the game from the sideline. So Nino has done it. I have done it. Moon have done it. Boomer have done it. Dina has done it as well. We'll be at a game. We'll see something like, yo, this person hitting the transfer portal. Zachariah Branch, I knew he was hitting the transfer portal. I was at the Merlin game. Texted our CFB Nation group chat, hey, yo, Zachariah Branch transferred out there in the year. It's just certain things you see when you're in these certain arenas. And it was funny that, and of course it ended up coming out that it was Jeff Albright's son who actually did the prank call. But I was thinking, yo, they're like, Brian the Ball just I know his daughter or son go to Ole Miss. I was thinking that his number got leaked that way, and it's crazy that happened. But they said it was another player happened to last year, but we ain't make a big deal out of it. It is what it is. Tyler Shuck going to the Saints. I've watched Tyler Shuck pretty much his entire career in college. I watched him struggle to beat out Anthony Brown and ended up losing the job to Anthony Brown in Eugene. I watched him when he was in Texas Tech, and while he was healthy, he had a couple of really good games. He had a game versus Oregon where most of that game he played really well, but he really cost him towards the end. And I've watched him this year in Louisville, and I've seen him progress year in and year out. But you can't tell me his entire body of work is better than Shedeur Sanders' body of work. You can't tell me that. Are there some traits you may like about him more than Shedeur? Sure. Absolutely not. Absolutely. But you just can't tell me his whole body of work was better than Shedeur Sanders' body of work, because it wasn't. Jalen Milroe. When I saw that one, that was the one that really took the cake for me. I'm like, Jalen Milroe getting drafted over Shedeur. And a lot of people are like, oh, it's racist. Jalen Milroe got drafted over Shedeur. I'm like, yeah, whatever, bro. Like, y'all just be talking the talk. It really gets on my nerves. But Jalen Milroe, there were quite a few games I seen him, Jalen Milroe. I'm like, yo, this kid is athletic as hell. If he ever figures this thing out from the pocket, his ceiling is through the roof. I get it from a ceiling perspective, but when we talking about the floor, he ain't messing with Sheduer. If we talking about the floor. And then the Browns confused me. Like, I thought they did a really good job when they went and got, they made the trade with Jacksonville. They got a bunch of picks. I'm like, okay, they can really formulate a roster with these picks. And they drafted Dylan Gabriel. I'm a Dylan Gabriel fan. You've been watching me for a minute, you know I'm a Dylan Gabriel fan. So I'm not mad at the Dylan Gabriel pick. But what I'm mad at is you go draft Dylan Gabriel and then a couple rounds later you go draft Sheduer. That just really don't make sense. It don't make sense to me. And then there's this subject about Sheduer has character issues. What do y'all define as character issues? Like, is he beating up people and going to jail? Does he use drugs? Does he beat women? Talk disrespectfully to women? Oh, because he get y'all the risk? He got character issue? He's just letting y'all know what time it is. I don't even know what this shit mean. He's just letting you know what time it is, that's all. He letting you know the time because he was doubted in high school. That's why. Oh, he's just down, kid. He's letting you know the time because he was doubted at Jackson State. Oh, it's just a competition. He letting you know what time it is at Colorado. Oh, look at their record, 13-12. Did you see the record the previous few seasons? Did you see it? Did you see they only had like 2 or 3 winning seasons? The last 20 years, did you see that too? He's letting y'all know what time it is. That's all it is. But he got character issues because he's confident. Why do we do that? He's confident and he don't code switch. He's transparent. Why do we do this? Y'all don't want people to be confident. If I had a guy quarterback, I would want him to be confident. Baker Mayfield's one of my favorite players ever in the history of college football. You know why I liked him? He had moxie. He had bravado. He was confident. Yeah, he gonna stamp the flag in the middle of your logo. He's confident. That's what I want in a quarterback. But why is it a problem with Sheduer? Make it make sense. Why is it a problem with Sheduer? I don't know. I don't know. Like, I just don't get it. It seems as if people from a certain culture who are seen as submissive are accepted, but the ones who are confident are seen as a problem. Shedeur Sanders going in the 5th round, hey, maybe teams really didn't like him. I know the NFL is the good old boy network. I get it. Maybe they wanted him to act a certain way. Maybe he should have went to the combine and had his head on straight. But is he being true to himself? Sheduer has made hella plays in college football that made him elite. But I just don't get it. In my opinion, it is collusion. Nobody else can tell me differently. Because was he 144th pick talent? No, absolutely not. If you just look, if we could sit here and do blind resumes, and y'all would probably be wrong each and every time. If we just sit here, look at the stats, just look at the production, we would probably be wrong every time. We don't like this man because he's confident. That's crazy. Oh, he deserved to slide. Oh, he needs to humble himself. Why people need to why people need to humble themselves? Humble themselves for what? What did he do? Maybe you could say somebody need to humble themselves after getting arrested, or doing something they had no business doing. Yeah, humble yourself, but humble yourself because you confident. Get out of here with that. I'm gonna leave y'all with a quote with one of my favorite father figures in television history. Quote from James Evans. And the show was Good Times. And he asked this question. I propose this question to all of you. How you gonna know where I'm at if you ain't been where I've been? You understand where I'm coming from? I only speak on things that I know about. I know about college football, so I speak on it. I know about growing up in the hood, so I speak on it. You know what I don't know anything about? I don't know about farming. I've never been on a farm in my life. I don't know what that's like. I don't know what their struggles are like. I don't speak on it. My mother, on the other hand, grew up in the country, so she know what farm like life is like. But I don't speak on it. So if farmers are saying, hey, we need help with this, we need help with that, we need help with the third, I'm not going to watch a TikTok that says farmers don't need this, farmers don't need that, then I'm going to formulate an opinion on it. I don't do it, so how can I formulate an opinion on it? So if farmers are saying they need help, God damn it, get them some help. I don't do it. I couldn't get up, I wake up early every day, but I couldn't get up, 3 a.m., 4 a.m. and go milk the cows, go take care of, all the livestock. It's not in me. But I'm also not, educated enough to formulate an opinion on it. So I'm going to repeat this quote by James Evans from Good Times again. How you going to know where I'm at if you ain't been where I've been? Understand where I'm coming from. Salute to all the elite fathers, the Archie Mannings, God bless the dead, Jack Elways, the LeVar Balls, the Deion Sanders. I salute that.